Okay.
Yeah, when a man comes early, what goes through my mind is...
When a man comes too early, what goes through my mind is...
When a man comes too early, what goes through my mind is...
So when a man comes too fast, the thing that goes through my mind is, what the just happened? Oh well, you know, doesn't always happen.
Well, at least that's over with. I haven't wasted a lot of time.
I ended up leaving the same night.
Oh, that's the end.
But it sucks if it's like, that's it. And that's the end.
If he's gonna come quickly, I guess I just want to be doing the next thing, whatever that is.
If you've ever come too early, you can blame it on your caveman ancestors. Think about it. Back then, the caveman who could come quickly was the one who could get the female pregnant before a tiger pounces on him, or another jealous caveman finds them and whacks him with a club. Over the years, the fastest ejaculators were the ones who survived and passed their genes on. You and I are here because we're descendants from a line of genetic quick draws. Studies published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine have actually identified the premature ejaculation gene that's been passed on. It's called the DAT1 gene, and if you come too early, you've probably got the gene. But here's the groundbreaking news. This gene can be turned off. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how you can turn off your fast ejaculator gene so you can last at least 30 to 45 minutes every night. Research by respected scientists shows that most women take 15 to 20 minutes to orgasm, while most men come in less than a dismal 4 minutes. No wonder women are so sexually frustrated, as the women you just heard from can attest. Once you watch this video all the way to the end, you'll never have to worry about that again. You'll be part of a tiny percentage of men who truly knows how to satisfy a woman. You'll learn the secrets to bringing her multiple sheet-soaking orgasms so powerful you might have to steam clean your bed the next day. PET scans and fMRIs of female orgasms show that when you give a woman a powerful orgasm while you're inside her, you will literally flood her brain's reward center with endorphins and oxytocin, the love and addiction chemicals. Flooding her brain with these chemicals while she feels you inside her will bind this morphine-like sense of pleasure to you, quickly causing her to think of you as her personal sexual hero, the one and only man she'll do absolutely anything in bed for. Here's the bottom line. Once you have complete control over your equipment, you'll also have complete control over her experience during sex. You'll be able to deliberately tease her by moving slowly, or pound her hard and fast like a porn star. You'll be able to take her to sexual peak after sexual peak through different positions and different styles of lovemaking, culminating in multiple, full-body, chemically addicting orgasms. My name is Jim Benson, and I've been studying sex and relationships for over 20 years. I've taught over 55,000 men from 23 different countries how to last longer, eliminate erectile dysfunction, and even to have multiple orgasms. The research and techniques I'll be sharing with you have been featured on CNN, in the New York Times, and USA Today, as well as peer-reviewed journals like the Journal of Sexual Medicine and the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy. In this video, I'll be sharing 3 of the best sex tips I've learned over the last 2 decades. In fact, in the next 15 minutes, you're going to learn sexual techniques that most men will never know. Techniques that you can use in bed tonight. So whatever you're doing right now, stop and pay close attention, as this might be the most important video you ever watch. This video is highly controversial and will be taken down very soon, so I'd highly recommend watching it all the way to the end right now. Before we go any further, I have a confession I need to make. I know exactly how devastating it can be to have performance issues behind closed doors. I know because long before I was a quote-unquote sex guru, it happened to me, and it almost destroyed me. It's a pretty embarrassing sex story, but I'm going to share it with you anyway, because as a result of this shameful experience, I accidentally stumbled onto the stamina secret, the #1 key you can use to dramatically increase your stamina and give any woman unrivaled ecstatic pleasure. But first, hearing my embarrassing sex story will help all of this make a lot more sense. Ready? I was 29 and engaged to a smoking hottie. She had a feminine, curvaceous body, silky, soft skin, and she always smelled like sweet fruit. she was also wickedly smart and had a great sense of humor. We were totally on fire for each other right from the get-go. But then my bedroom performance started to become an issue. I had zero control over when I came, and as a result, I couldn't make her come during intercourse. It wasn't her fault. She was always wet and ready for me. Sure, I was pretty good with my tongue and fingers, but whenever we got down to having sex, my performance issues got in the way. It made me feel incompetent as a man to have to look her in the eyes and admit it, but I couldn't get my little buddy down there to work the way I wanted him to. At first, I thought it wasn't a big deal, that it was a one-time thing. But then it happened again, and again, and again. And each time I started to feel more and more frustrated. I even started to dread having sex, even though I really wanted it. I just didn't want to have to look into her eyes and face that look of disappointment yet again. Our passion started to crumble. We started to have less and less sex, until we were having it only once every 2 months. Even when I asked for a blowjob, she would just say, "Not tonight," or "Not right now," which really meant never. We eventually had to go to a doctor because she just couldn't get wet for me in bed. Can you imagine how embarrassing that doctor's visit was? We were both beet red as we confessed our problem. He ended up prescribing her a special lubricant, and as you can probably guess, that didn't help either, because it wasn't really a medical condition. The bottom line that we both didn't want to admit, was that she just wasn't into me anymore. Then she went to Tahiti and had an affair with an American doctor named Steele. Seriously, Steele. She came off the plane crying. She didn't need to say anything. I knew immediately what had happened. We broke up 2 days later. Being cheated on crushed me. Even though she was the one who cheated, deep down I felt that it was my fault. I was the man in the relationship, and it was my job to keep her sexually and emotionally satisfied. And I failed. That's when I realized just how important sex really is. Yes, a healthy relationship is about more than just good sex. But in any relationship, if the sex isn't good, then it becomes everything. And that's why my relationship with my fiancée imploded. I knew that sooner or later I was going to have to get this handled, or remain sexless and single forever. So after a few months of feeling sorry for myself, I made my decision. I was going to take this seriously. I never wanted to lose a relationship due to bad sex again. I never wanted to get cheated on again. I wanted to be able to blow any woman's mind, whether we were in a long-term relationship or a one-night stand. I didn't care how much it cost or how long it took. I was going to master this. I bought every sex book, magazine, and video I could find. I started reading scientific journals on sex research. I began to identify sex experts in specific subjects, and then I spent tens of thousands of dollars flying all over the world to meet and learn from them. Piece by piece, I put the puzzle together. I took the best of different teachers and eventually started creating my own system. I tried a wide range of different techniques on a wide range of different women. I tried all the conventional advice, as well as hundreds of techniques most guys would never even dream of trying. As I learned these skills, I slowly transitioned from being the clumsy guy who barely knew his way around a vagina to being able to give women back-to-back screaming orgasms that occasionally had the neighbors banging on our doors. Let me tell you, there's nothing quite like seeing her look at you with total awe, devotion, and love after you've given her a night of unforgettable orgasms. That look of total adoration. That look that tells you she'll do anything you want, that she's completely yours. You'll never forget that look in her eyes. Today, I'm married to the woman of my dreams. We have a fantastic connection, and the sex is through the roof, and in fact, keeps getting better. Discovering the stamina secret has completely changed my life, and now I've dedicated my life to helping men who want what I've found, but way faster. As a matter of fact, if it's all right with you, I'd like to show you 3 of the best sex and stamina tips I've learned over the years. You might want to get a pen and paper ready for this part, as we will be taking this video down soon. And pay especially close attention to the last tip, because that's where you'll learn a simple, clinically tested strategy for defeating the premature ejaculation DAT1 gene. Ready to get started? Tip number 1. If you want to last longer, there's one thing you absolutely must avoid. It's a mistake that almost 100% of men make, and that's why so many guys have trouble with early ejaculation. Just avoiding this one thing can as much as double your stamina. So what is this mistake? Well, it's not choosing the wrong position. It's not a lack of experience. It's not even getting excited too quickly. It's tension. More specifically, it's a special kind of tension scientists call myotonia. Myotonia is perhaps the most common reason for early ejaculation, yet most men have never even heard of it. Have you ever noticed how, as you get closer to orgasm, your breath starts to speed up? And how your stomach or even your whole body starts to tense up? That's myotonia, the involuntary muscle tension that leads to ejaculation. What most men don't know is that myotonia isn't just a result of impending orgasm, it actually causes faster ejaculation. This is why a lot of women like to have their legs pushed up or their hair pulled down during sex. That physical tension helps them get closer to orgasm. The same part of your brain that controls myotonia also controls orgasm. Fortunately, this mind-body link works in reverse as well. If you can let go of the tension and relax in those crucial moments, you can hold off your orgasm. One easy way to do this is to focus on breathing deeply at the right time during sex. Deep breathing has a calming and relaxing effect on all the muscles in your body. By breathing deeper, you release much of the myotonia buildup. This technique alone can help you last as much as twice as long. Just imagine her moans of delight when she discovers your newfound stamina just from using this one technique. Tip number 2. What if you could learn to last a lot longer in bed by changing one simple thing before you start having intercourse? And what if this one thing was something she actually wants you to do, something most guys know needs to be done, yet they don't do it because they just don't understand how to do it right? So, what is it? Is it some magical fingering technique? A secret spot you need to touch? A special sex position? Nope. It's a specific time threshold you need to cross. I call it the stamina threshold. It's the exact amount of time you need to spend in foreplay before your body gets accustomed to being in a sexual situation. Your genitals will naturally become less sensitive once you pass this stamina threshold, so you'll automatically last a lot longer. Wilhelm Reich, one of the most respected psychiatrists in history, talked about this in his groundbreaking paper titled The Bioelectrical Investigation of Sexuality and Anxiety. Based on clinical trials, as well as the most intimate sexual confessions of hundreds of clients, he says, in patients suffering from premature ejaculation, the genital muscles involuntarily begin to twitch too soon. In these cases, excitation is transmitted too soon from the nervous system to the muscles. In other words, when you get excited quickly and jump straight into sex, you jar your nervous system with an unexpected blast of sexual energy. It doesn't know how to cope and quickly transfers that excitement from your body to your genitals, causing a fast ejaculation. How can you avoid this? By giving your body enough time to get accustomed to the new pleasurable sensations. We guys naturally want to race to the finish line. We're programmed to want to rip her pants off as quickly as possible, but that's actually counterproductive. As a rule of thumb, the longer you spend making out without going into the let's have sex right now mode, the longer you'll last once you penetrate her. The actual stamina threshold varies from person to person, but it's generally around the 20-minute mark. If you stay in that hot and sexy makeout zone for 20 minutes instead of skipping past it, you'll easily add 10 minutes or more to your stamina. And those 10 minutes could be all you need to give her a primal, ecstatic climax while you're inside of her. Okay, let's jump into tip number 3. This is by far the most important tip of all. Without this tip, nothing else that we've talked about here matters. Even if you do everything we've talked about so far, if your genetics are fighting against you, these other tips won't work. So listen closely. We've already talked about how you're genetically predisposed to ejaculating quickly. Your DAT1 gene, also known as the premature ejaculation gene, was passed down through the ages because fast ejaculators in the wild were more likely to successfully reproduce. Fortunately, This DAT1 gene can be turned off. Scientists call the process of turning genes on and off gene regulation. You're born with certain genes on or off, but many of these can change as you get older. For example, some kids who are able to digest milk or lactose often become lactose intolerant as they get older. That's because their LCT gene goes from being active to inactive, from on to off. At first, scientists thought the only way to deliberately switch genes on or off was through pharmaceutical drugs. Then, the founder and president of the Medicine Research Institute at University of California, San Francisco, published a groundbreaking paper proving that diet and meditation alone can have a big impact on gene regulation. That opened the doors for other researchers to look for new, non-pharmaceutical ways to regulate genes. More recently, researchers from one of Canada's top research universities proved that simple, specific physical movements designed to stimulate your nervous system can have a direct impact on gene regulation. Here's a direct quote from his report. Exercise has the ability to impact stem cell biology. The impact of exercise is comparable to what we see with pharmaceutical intervention. These specific physical movements work by causing the body to produce special proteins that bind to short strands of DNA at the end of your genes, turning that gene off. It's like flipping a light switch that turns off your premature ejaculation circuit. Once this circuit is off, your body simply works differently. You automatically last a lot longer without having to think about it. I've compiled all these key movements and exercises into a comprehensive system that anyone can follow to get incredible results. This system addresses not just genetics, but the physical, emotional, and mental aspects of sexual performance. Over the years, I've shared my work with over 55,000 eager students, many of whom have written me heartwarming thank you letters since. So far, I've already revealed some pretty controversial ideas. You've learned about the science behind myotonia and how you can use specific relaxation techniques to cool down your genitals and to prevent orgasm. You've learned how our natural urge to race towards penetration actually sets us up for failure. And you've learned exactly how long you should stay in the foreplay zone if you want to avoid a premature spurt. Finally, you've learned a truth that pharmaceutical companies truly don't want you to know, that you can override your body's natural urge to ejaculate on a mental, emotional, physical, and genetic level, all from the comfort of your own home. Now you can take what you've learned here today and run with it. Or you could do what a lot of guys do, learn the full set of exercises and techniques to truly help you reach complete sexual mastery. After all, your woman doesn't just want you to last a little bit longer. She wants a man who's truly a master of his body and his sexuality, and has the confidence in bed to show for it. Where can you learn the full set of exercises to reach that level of mastery? Well, with your permission, I'd like to tell you a little more about the Stamina Secret. The Stamina Secret is a detailed, instantly downloadable training program consisting of 6 jam-packed lessons. Each lesson includes a 1-hour audio where you'll learn the ins and outs of one key aspect of sexual stamina. Each lesson also comes with a 5 to 10 minute video, which demonstrates a key physical movement for you to practice. These movements are designed so you can do them all at home by yourself and only use them with a woman once they're second nature to you. As you do these movements, your body will quickly recondition itself for a massive boost in stamina. These movements take just 15 to 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Some of them are so easy you can even do while watching TV. Here's a sneak peek into just a little bit of what each of the 6 main lessons in this program covers. In Lesson 1, you'll learn exactly how you can deliberately reprogram your body's orgasm timing. We'll talk about why guys come so early and exactly what triggers fast ejaculation. Then we'll talk about how you can quickly change the way your body is programmed to react in sexual situations, so you'll last longer without even having to think about it. We'll also talk about the 6 core principles for lasting longer. These 6 principles will be the foundation for permanently transforming your stamina and your sex life. Lesson number 2, you'll learn all about dopamine, the reward chemical in your brain. This is the chemical in your brain that spikes when you get excited, and it's also the chemical that causes fast ejaculations. In fact, the DAT1 gene that we've been talking about actually causes fast ejaculations by flooding your brain with dopamine. You'll learn the one hidden factor that causes dopamine spikes faster than anything else and how to get rid of it for good. We'll also talk about how you can use masturbation to train your body to last longer during sex. Lesson 3 dives deep into relaxation. As we've talked about, the longer you can stay relaxed, the longer you'll last in bed. You'll learn 3 techniques for rapidly calming your excitement level, even while having hot, passionate sex. You'll learn undercover techniques that'll let you last longer without her even knowing you're using them. We'll also talk about the 3 most common ways guys get nervous in bed, causing them to come early, along with exact solutions to each. Lesson 4 is where the program gets really deep. We look past surface sexual techniques and instead dive into how to resolve the deeper issues that guys have. You'll learn how to effectively wipe out negative past sexual memories that might still be affecting your performance today. You'll learn how to turn sexual nervousness into sexual confidence. Resolving these deeper sexual issues can have incredible results on your sex life. You'll not only last longer, but have more confidence, be more spontaneous, connect better with your partner, and all around be a more masterful lover. Lesson 5 is all about sexual confidence. Confidence plays 2 crucial roles in the bedroom. First, your confidence has a big impact on your performance. If you're nervous or anxious, you'll naturally be more tense, which means more myotonia and faster orgasms. Also, being nervous in bed can make it extremely difficult for you to get hard. Second, confidence in the bedroom is incredibly sexy to women. In surveys from all over the world, the #1 thing women say turns them on is confidence. Your newfound confidence can easily make her soaking wet for you, even if you've been in a relationship for years. This lesson talks in depth about what true confidence is and how to develop a deep and unshakable confidence that comes right from your masculine core. I'll also walk you through a proven 10-minute process that you can use to multiply your confidence by 300%. Anytime you find yourself feeling nervous, you can just do this process and quickly watch the nervousness disappear. In the final lesson, we'll answer all the most common questions you might have as you go through your program. I really want to make sure you see amazing results, so this part is very detailed. Any possible question you might have, this is where you'll get a detailed answer. Then we'll talk about how to seamlessly integrate these techniques into your sex life with your woman. Remember, this program is designed so that you can learn to last longer on your own first, so you don't have to worry about experimenting with a brand new technique with a live woman. By the time you get to this point in the program, you'll already be seeing a massive boost in stamina. This last lesson will show you exactly how to apply everything you've learned so you get the most bang out of every technique in every sexual situation. So that's just a little glimpse of some of what the program covers. Originally, when I started teaching these techniques, I was charging $200 an hour for private coaching with a minimum of 5 hours or $1,000. But that's not what you'll pay. Because you watched all the way to the end of this video, and because I can tell you're serious, you're not going to pay $1,000. You won't even pay $500. You won't even pay $200. Learning how to have complete control over when you come, to give her multiple back-to-back orgasms in one night, to permanently become sexually confident, to be able to enjoy sex instead of feel nervous about your performance, to look in her eyes and see just how much she wants and even needs you. All of that is yours for just $67. That comes out to just $2.23 a day for 30 days. That's less than the price of a Starbucks coffee. Let me ask you, would you give up 1 cup of coffee for a month if it meant having complete sexual mastery for the rest of your life? Oh, and as part of this program, you also get a whole treasure chest of fantastic bonuses. The first bonus is the 33 Ways to Touch Her video. This is a live video demonstration of 33 different ways to touch a woman that I show on 4 cute and sexy girls. How do you pull her hair? How do you spank her? How do you caress her when you're lying down? You'll learn all these techniques and a lot more. A $297 value. The next bonus is the Getting Her Wet and Ready video by sexy sex coach Mariana Dinkova, one of the most respected female sex coaches in the world. This video is all about heating up the moments leading up to the bedroom. How do you get her thinking about sex before she's naked? How do you get her so hot and excited that she can't wait to jump your bones? You'll learn all the key mental foreplay secrets for titillating and secretly exciting her on your date. A $97 value. The next bonus is the No BS Guide to Erectile Dysfunction. If you ever have trouble getting hard, I'll show you how to resolve that for good. Let me ask you a question. Can you get hard to porn? If so, then there's nothing wrong with your hardware. This guide will show you how to get steel beam erections on command. A $97 value. You'll also get the Kama Sutra Sex Guide. Once you can last 15 minutes or more, this guide will be your roadmap to the female orgasm. In this guide, you'll learn all about the best positions to stimulate all the different spots deep inside of her. You'll learn exactly when to use which position, as well as how to switch into those positions. You'll learn positions for stimulating her clitoris and her G-spot, as well as other hidden spots deep inside of her. A $97 value. The last bonus is a special sex guide written by one of the top sex authors in the world. He was the #1 rated author in the dating category on Amazon for 62 weeks. In the Tao of Sexual Mastery, Dr. Alex Benzer will walk you through every sensitive area of a woman's body, from the back of her ears to the insides of her thighs. He'll grade each body part according to sensitivity and eroticism, and then tell you the exact right way to touch those spots. Read this guide, and you'll never run out of ideas on where to touch her. A $97 value. We'll also throw in a whole bunch of secret bonuses, including how to talk your girl into doing kinky things, deep meditations you can use to break through subconscious sexual barriers, and a lot more. The secret bonuses alone are easily worth $200. These bonuses together are worth $885, but you're getting all of them for free when you place your order today. Unfortunately, this low price isn't going to last very long. Between getting all these girls on video and the cost of doing all my research, at just $67, I'm barely able to get this to you and break even. I'm happy to give you this program at this low price, but it does put me in an awkward position. To make sure I can cover my expenses so I can get this to even more people, I'm going to have to raise the price on the program very soon. It could even happen tomorrow. So that's why it's important that you claim your copy now before I'm forced to raise the price forever. Your purchase is backed by our 100% fast and friendly, safe and secure guarantee. I guarantee that you'll be able to last as long as you want in bed, whether that's 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, or even more. I guarantee that you'll be able to give your woman sexual pleasure like she's never experienced before. I guarantee that after you use these techniques, you'll soon see her craving more and more of the orgasmic delight that she knows she can only get from you. If, for some reason, you're the exception and can't get these techniques to work for you, or if your woman doesn't think you're the best lover she's ever had, or heck, if you just decide you can't stand my hairstyle, I'll give you every penny back. If for any reason the program doesn't work for you, just send us an email within 60 days and you'll promptly get all your money back, no questions asked. You risk absolutely nothing. Your order is completely discreet. Only the word ClickBank will appear on your statement. Our shopping cart is scanned daily by McAfee and VeriSign, and we use the same 128-bit SSL encryption technologies that banks and the FBI use, so your order is 100% secure and private. Ready to get started? Just click the big happy yellow button below to get rolling. Remember, these are skills that, once you master them, will completely change your sex life for the rest of your life. Any woman you're with, whether it's a one-night stand or the love of your life, will be genuinely, completely satisfied by you in bed. You'll be able to bring her to orgasm after screaming orgasm while making raw, passionate love for hours on end. But don't just take my word for it. Here's what some previous students of this program have said. Travis D. says, "For most of my adult life, I had suffered from premature ejaculation and had no confidence in the bedroom. I was terrified of physical intimacy. Then I started your training. 6 months later, not only do I love sex with my current partner, but I also completely satisfy her. I'm lasting way longer. And I'm much more confident, relaxed, and present in the bedroom." Will W. says, "I took your training because I'm 56 and have struggled with erection issues for many years. I started dating a younger woman and didn't want to be dependent on Viagra to be able to perform. The techniques I learned from you made a profound difference in my sex life. Then I shocked myself and my girlfriend by having a non-ejaculatory orgasm while we were having intercourse. I think she told her friends because they suddenly became very sweet and chatty with me. I never thought this could happen, but it is. Alan F. says, my relationship with my live-in girlfriend went from hot to not after a few months. I'm embarrassed to admit that my equipment just wasn't working, and I was worried it might never work the same again. That's when I took a gamble on your techniques, Jim. Fast forward to today. She's flirting with me, making sexually suggestive remarks, and, I can't believe this one, rubbing her body on me like an animal in heat. You think it might be the 4 screaming orgasms we shared in bed together last night? I'm loving this. These are typical results from emails that I get all the time. Look, I don't want price to be an issue for you. $67 or $2.23 a day for a month is really nothing. I don't want you to lose your girl because you can't give it to her the way she craves, just because of a few pennies. I don't want you to look in her eyes and suspect that she's comparing you to past lovers. I know how painful that is, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Listen, I've done everything I can. In this video, I've shown you a ton of little-known sex secrets that most men will never know. I've shown you everything I can in the time we have. Now, it's your turn. I'll put it simply. You really only have 3 choices right now. 1. You can take what you learned in this presentation and try to figure it out for yourself. But chances are you won't figure it out. There are literally next to 0 resources out there that can really teach you how to master these skills, and definitely nothing step-by-step like this program. 2. You could close this page and walk away. Your sex life will probably remain the same. You might continue to come too early or continue to struggle with getting hard. You'll have mediocre, or if you're lucky, quote-unquote good sex. And that's how it's going to be for the rest of your life. Or 3. Just say maybe. Take action without any risk today. Click the yellow button below to get instant access to the training course. Take 60 days to see if it's everything we talked about and more. If you're not happy for any reason, you get every dime back. You literally risk nothing. We're at the end of our presentation. I really want to congratulate you. You're about to learn sexual skills most men don't even know exist. Heck, most women don't even know they exist. Imagine her shock and delight when you can bring orgasmic wave after orgasmic wave crashing through her body, barely giving her enough time to gasp for breath in between. It'll be unlike anything she's ever felt before. Are you ready for a world of sexual bliss like you've never experienced? I'll bet you are. I'll bet you're ready to finally become the man, the sexually masterful man that you've always felt you could be deep down. You can. The most amazing sex of your life is waiting. Click the button below now to get started. Still here? Well, let me answer some of the most common questions you might have as you're considering this program. Can I learn this if I don't have a girlfriend? Absolutely. In fact, most of the practices you'll be doing are on your own with no one else around. And when you finally do have a woman in your bed, you will definitely be ready for her. Does age matter? Can I be too young or too old? I've had guys from 18 all the way up to 82 do my program. Successfully, I might add. Age, race, religious background, disabilities, there's actually no guy who can't benefit from the Stamina Secret. How will this affect my relationship outside the bedroom? Your sex life is a reflection of the rest of your life. If you're feeling more capable, confident, and happier in the bedroom, then that's going to directly translate to the rest of your life. Does penis size matter? Absolutely it matters. You need an erect penis over the size of 1 inch to get a benefit from this program. You may think I'm kidding, but truthfully, penis size does not matter for you to take this program. I've had guys with all varieties of penis size have great success at completing the Stamina Secret. Is this course technically difficult to use? This course is designed to be so easy to use that any guy can make it work. If you can play an MP3 file on your computer or on your phone, you have what it takes to use this program. How will this affect my sex drive? Guys with low sex drives notice that their libidos are higher during and after taking my program. Interestingly, most guys who already have high libidos tell me that they've noticed a smoothing out or a kind of lessening of those out-of-control episodes of sexual desire that they get all the time. Will this help me get laid more? Getting laid more often is dependent on a number of factors. But because you'll have way more sexual confidence once you've completed the program, women will sense that, and they'll start to get more interested in you. Then, once you're in bed with them and they see how talented you are, then definitely they will be wanting more of that action. So yes, once you finish this program, you will get laid more often. I hope having those questions answered helps. In fact, if you're still on the fence, here's a little more about what's in the program to help you make your decision. In this program, you'll learn 5 things you must do if you want to have a simultaneous orgasm with her. This is the holy grail of great sex. It's what women dream of when they touch themselves. You'll learn how to give it to her. We'll talk about what to do if the passion in your relationship peters out. Do this right and she'll start lusting for you again, just like she did at the beginning. You'll learn how to slowly amp up the sexual tension on a date, so she'll be literally tearing your clothes off before you get to the bedroom. How to make her orgasms last minutes instead of seconds. Do this right and she'll feel like every nerve ending in her body is buzzing with electricity. A simple 2-step exercise to help eliminate nervousness about sexual performance. These 2 steps use only your breathing and your mind, so she won't even notice you're doing it. The most common mistakes men make when sleeping with a woman for the first time. These mistakes cause both erection problems and stamina problems. The one communication blunder guys make that turns women ice cold. Unless you want to be sleeping with a dead fish, don't make this mistake. How to experience full body, multiple orgasms for yourself. It'll make sex feel 100 times as good. Again, that's just some of what this program covers. And remember, this special introductory price won't be available for long, so go ahead and click the button below to complete your order now.